Hello, welcome to Learning Crypto and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at Solana. We'll have a look at it in both the USDT and the BTC pairings. First up, we will start off with Bitcoin and run over some key levels. And as you can see down here, we have had a big rise. Firstly, if you are new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed and that you do hit that like button. So I said BTC, we've had a nice break here. We've broken out of that downtrend, which was pretty much forming, since then really. We had a few relief bounces when we rejected off that 35k region again. That 35k region is that EQ, that is that central range. So we've got the high range up here at 41,300. Low range is this wick here, which is bang on the yearly open. So that's going back 7 months ago now. So we've been down, retested it close. We did hit that 30k region there, and then we've slapped it another time here, and we've actually been down to 29,300. Bounced. We was looking for a bounce at some stage. Nothing to get too excited about. We do know we've got a conference today with Elon Musk, so something from there could eventually just spin this all the way around, and we could come back down and test this level again. But so far so good. Like I say, at some point you would expect to bounce. It was a pretty horrific downtrend it was in. There was no sign of relief at all, and we were just down and down and down, and yeah, it's not looked good. But like I say, we have bounced here. If you look at this on a 4-hour time frame, we had no closures below 29,600, so that looks like it was a base. We had a few wicks down to 29,200, but has pushed up so far. If you're looking for some key levels that we need to close above, then you could say this level here looks quite tasty. If we just mark over the horizontal ray. So that was where we rejected last time. We've been up and rejected of it again, and use it as support here quite a few times. So to me, that looks like a key level, and that is at 32,400. So for continuation of this over the next few days, we really need to get some closures above 32,400. But remember, this downtrend, what we could do is, as we've already we've broken to the upside, what we could do is come back down and retest it and then go up and break that level. So if you're looking for some longs, maybe short term, you could potentially look at 30,500. But let's see, it's definitely not the market to be long in a minute, because it is quite nasty, isn't it? Mainly shorts are probably the best place to target here. May have just missed that entry, to be honest, at 32,400. But let's see. You're probably better off sitting out of any BTC trading until we have had that conference and we decided what's going to go on. For me personally, I've always been waiting for a bounce. I put a post out of a day saying I'm bullish, but that's just in terms of long-term fundamentals. Short-term, it looks nasty, doesn't it? There's been calls for 24k, which is this level where we traded around here. There's been calls for 20k, which is a previous all-time highs. Personally, I don't think we're going to come down there, and I think this was the bottom. But that's just my opinion. So let's see what goes on over the course of the next few days going into this weekend. The last few weekends, to be honest, have been quite decent for Bitcoin. So let's see what happens there. I think when we're going back to the last weekend was around here, and we did get a spike. So let's see, but that's pretty much BTC. My thoughts on it: a good bounce so far. Nothing to get excited about, because we could soon just reject here and come back down and either test this trend or go back down to that yearly open and maybe even lose that. But fingers crossed, up only for me. So let's go down to, where have I got Solana? And we'll have a look at USDT pair first, and then we'll have a look at the BTC pairing too. Last time I did some TA was 24th of June, so a while ago. As you can see, that extension at fib here, it very nicely. So let's get rid of that previous TA. Let's just start off on the weekly and have a look what's going on here. I'm guessing it's going to look pretty nasty. Yeah, not too bad, but you can see a lot with no closures below here. Let's mark this level up first. So no closures below $24 since we broke through it back on the 29th of March. So far that is looking like that double bottom there was support, with no closures below that. In terms of a drop from the all-time highs, which was about $58, to that wick down there, we did a 61% drop. If you're looking at previous wicks, we did a 67% drop overall. So currently for me, I think it's a decent buying opportunities. If we just drop to a daily, here we can see we had a few closures below that level, but we've had a nice bounce up. So there we had a double bottom at 2360. if we're just looking at this entire move in terms of Fibonacci's from this point here to this point here, 78% retracement. So I mean, usually if you're looking for buys and you're looking at the entire move up, usually look between this, and it will, personally I look anywhere from 382 down to 786, so it has broken through that. Looking very, very bearish, to be honest. I mean, it has been in a solid downtrend from here, looking all the way down. What we're looking for is a breakout from that constant downtrend. I mean, it could lower it down to something like this, but then again, that's breaking through it. So we'll take the trend all the way from the top. We'll take that as a rejection point. So for really it to flip bullish, you need to start breaking above this $31 mark. But what I want to do is just have a look at some buys, because remember, things can still keep going down. The market is in not the best position. So if we're looking at buys, really you can look at these wicks down here. We've had 1, 2, 3 wicks within that range, so that shows that that period there is an area of liquidity. So if you're looking for buys, potentially if this does turn around and come back down here, buys anywhere from around $18 up to $21 within that range looks like a decent area to buy. Let's see how this materializes though. It is what you would call a bullish engulfing candle. It's nearly taken all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of candles. So, I mean, if we broke above this one here, it will be bullish, and I think we would start to get that bottom, because we have created a bottom now around here. Last time we created a bottom here, we pushed up, created a bottom here and pushed up. So let's see if this third time lucky can see some sustained growth and we start going up and start creating some new highs. In terms of take profit regions though, so if there's your buys down at that region, the first major level for us to break through for me is this level here. I'm not going to really do any further analysis until we break above that point. That's at $38. So if you're getting buys down at this range and then targeting that range up there, you're talking about an 81% move. So let's see. We need to get some orders filled down at this range first. Let's see if we've missed it, because really if you just put that up a little bit, that is within that area where you would say it is liquidity. All that green box is where everything's been getting snapped up. The first initial dump, when everybody were flapping, brought us down into that region. No closures. Like I say, no closures. I mean, the daily we've had a couple of closures recently, which is not good, to be honest. But closures on the weekly time frame is that level there. So in terms of weekly levels, strong support there, and this is shown here by this engulfing candle. This is the area that you really should be placing orders. I think, in my opinion, I think it's a decent area to buy, considering being up to $58. RSI looking very, I mean, it was verging on oversold territory. Let's see if we can get any divergences appear over the next few days. I mean, we had a bullish divergence there which didn't play out. And then looking at the RSI currently, it is on the move, pushing up to that 57% on the 4 hour. So that's that pair pretty much covered. Buys within this range down here. May have missed it. Let's see how this continues. I mean, if you're looking at this on the 4 hour time frame, a couple of key levels for you to target is this one. And then we've got to look at this level here. So 2 levels for you to potentially look at taking profits: $27, $31 and $38. But in terms of structure, we do need to break above this. You might get a retest of this area before we come back down and push up. So a couple of setups there for you. In my opinion, I don't think it's a bottom yet, but let's wait and see. I think we need to see what goes on this conference before we can make any clinical decisions to what's going on. So that's that covered. Buys within this range, and then a few TPs if we do continue. If you've already bought before seeing this video, then you're looking to accumulate, have a look at some of these levels up here to accumulate some SOL. In terms of BTC, this is a one where I think you have a stronger possibility of picking assets up in Satoshi pairs lower than where we currently are. For me, and I think this is the same, or Ash, we are still expecting Bitcoin dominance to creep back up. Currently, Bitcoin dominance is at 46%. I'll just go on to it actually before. This is what I'm looking at here. A potential push up to either 52% or 57%. If this does happen and Bitcoin does go on a nice run, ultimately it will take out in the Satoshi pairs, and that means that any altcoins with Satoshi pairs will drop. So if you're looking at this entire move here, I'm going to look at this over the let's have a look at my daily first actually. I'm going to look at it from this move here. So if you look at the entire move from there, we had a bit of a pullback and then we pushed our way up. Bounced off that 618 level a couple of times there. If you're looking for buys out in Satoshi pairs, I would honestly target some levels down here. So maybe this region here at 59,000, and I would ladder some all the way down to this region here, because nothing against Solana. If Bitcoin goes on a run, like I say, ultimately it takes out on the Satoshi pairs, and that will start to feel the pain. So if you're looking for some nice buying opportunities, 59,000 Satoshis, all the way down to 38,000 Satoshis. It's a big area, but there's a potential that we've done that impulse move up. We could come down and test this region or this region before ultimately later on in the year going to the upside. Ignore what I've just done there. So something like that. But that's a long time. That's going in towards November, December. For now, get some orders placed down here and you might be surprised to what goes on. So that's going to pretty much do it. Just a few buying levels in the USDT pair and the BTC pair, and a few take profits on that USDT pair. Not going to give any take profits in BTC Satoshis yet, because I think the market's still very indecisive and I'm expecting a big move off Bitcoin. So that's going to do it for today's video. Just some short analysis there on Solana and BTC at the beginning. If you're new to this channel, then please make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.